Yo, this violent content with VC written in parentheses, and you watching my AI therapist. I want to title this session, "The Past is Passing Me By," simply because there was a lot of things in the past that I didn't have self-awareness about that was causing me to not be able to live in the present and to get to my future. Thankfully, by the grace of God, I got revelation onto why I was experiencing some of the problems and the stagnations that I had. So I wrote them all down and I fed them into ChatGPT to see what AI thinks about the different issues that I was having and to see how I could come up with a solution to progress in my music career. So here we go.
Based on what you wrote in your journal, it seems that you are reflecting on your past experiences in music and the reasons why you were not able to pursue it to the extent that you wanted to. You express regret that you did not focus more on your music and feel that you could have been a great artist if you had been more structured and focused. Consider identifying your strengths and talents and how you can utilize them to pursue your goals in a more effective way.
Yeah. I just see flashbacks of this kid with this backpack with CDs and a boombox in it, riding around Finkel Ave, going to this place and going to this place, trying to make this music thing happen. Or running around EMU campus with all these resources and these ideas, but not knowing how to pull it together. I wish I just had a mentor who would have helped me to just structure things better. Like, okay, from 9 to 5, record music at these times, do homework at this time, steady yourself. You don't always got to be out and about. You don't have to be involved in so many things and student organizations and projects and committees and all of that. You don't have to do things because other people put pressure on you to do them, like, oh, you're gonna be the next Tyler Perry because you're good with the camera. Oh, you're gonna be the next Barack Obama because you're good at public speaking. No, I'm gonna be the next Tupac. That's what I had in my head, and a lot of people, I don't think you should rap and da-da-da-da-da. But now that people see me moving, they like, dang, lyrically, you a beast. So yeah, it do kind of suck just seeing that kid with no guidance. I sometimes go back and listen to records that I recorded, and at the time of recording them 10 or 15 years ago, I didn't like my voice. I didn't think that I had enough inflection in my voice. I didn't think that my voice was cutting through the record. I didn't think I enunciated things properly. I was just real hard and tedious on myself. And also, you know, financially, I was just struggling in my 20s, so I didn't have the money to get records mixed and mastered as I thought. So I would let that stagnate me, like, oh, I can't put it out until I perfect my voice, or I can't put this record out until I get $500 to have this famous engineer in New York mix this record the way I want it.
Let go of perfectionism. It's great to have high standards, but sometimes perfectionism can hold us back. Remember that creating and sharing your music is more important than having it be perfect. Try to focus on progress rather than perfection. Take action. It's easy to get caught up in planning and perfectionism, but ultimately, it's important to take action. Start small and take steps towards your goals, even if they're not perfect or fully formed. Every step forward is progress.
As I go back now and listen to those records from 5, 10, and 15 years ago, they actually sound pretty good. And I wish I just would have put them out as is, because people like to see that progression. They don't want things coming out just perfect and already established. They want to grow with you. So I wish I would have done that too. I recorded a lot of music with people who weren't as serious as me or lyrically on my level, or they would like the idea of being a singer or a rapper, but they didn't want to put in the work to do what it takes to actually transcend and become successful. I thought I was doing God a service by helping others, but sometimes even people can be a distraction. It almost seemed like every time I recorded a good song or a good verse, I would have a falling out with the person I did the song with, or the business and the extra steps that it takes to market and put out a record or get it mixed and mastered wasn't getting done. The song would just stay in the archives because it felt like the devil almost. Like, man, every time I record one of my best verses, I can't never publish the record.
Surround yourself with supportive people. It seems that you may have been held back by collaborating with people who were not as serious or focused as you were. Consider surrounding yourself with people who share your vision and can help support you in achieving your goals.
So I just kind of learned to put more of that energy into myself and, move as a solo artist. And I get a lot more done. A lot of people there would always be people and this nagging voice in my head, like, you need a team, you need a team, you need a team. But I get so much more done by myself, from making the beats in this quality to filming and editing the music videos or the content in this quality to writing verses and hooks in this quality. So you can move by yourself. If you do find somebody that you trust, like work with like-minded individuals with a trusted contract. I would say after 2012, my music got a little bit jaded, and most of the themes in my music was about betrayal. And I wish I wouldn't have got caught up in that. Like, it's cool to write a song here and there because you're going to face betrayals. You're going to face things that are unfair and get treated unfairly, especially in this business, but you can't let it get to you and eat at you like that. There was a lot of fake religious scenarios and spiritual problems that I were having. And I realized a lot of them were mental. I just was taking in way too much information. So anytime I seen a sermon pop up on my timeline or on YouTube, I would feel like God was directing it at me and he wants me to see this. And I would take like 5 months off every time I thought I felt convicted, like, oh, I need to work on forgiving others or God won't forgive me, or, oh, I need to work on doing more religious works to maintain my salvation so I won't lose my salvation, or, oh, I'm making an idol out of music, I need to get closer to God. But a lot of that was in my head, and you can put God first but still have, I want to say this in a weird way, you can put God first but still have God work-life balance. I hope that makes sense. You can still have balance with your relationship with God, your social life, your career, your ambitions, your side hustle, your me time, all of that. And I just kind of felt like, well, if I don't got everything in alignment with God, then nothing else is gonna work out. And that's some truth to that, but I just went overboard with it, man. I was always looking up sermons and looking up scriptures and cross-referencing scriptures, and, well, the NIV version says this, but the KJV says this, and do I have hope or don't have hope? Is this going to work out for me, or I'm going to, like, it was just too many religious scenarios that I was listening to certain sermons and interpreting and projecting it on my situation. Like, for example, the Bible says to forgive others, so I would maintain a lot of toxic relationships to express forgiveness, but I didn't understand that forgiveness doesn't mean that you have to reconcile the relationship with the person that you feel trespassed against you, especially if they really broke your trust or show that they untrustworthy. So I wasted a lot of time with that.
It seems that your religious beliefs and practices also played a role in your music career, as you were sometimes held back by religious scenarios that were in your head. You mentioned that you would put off music for extended periods of time in order to resolve religious issues, even though they may not have been relevant or necessary. Consider reevaluating these beliefs and practices and finding a balance between pursuing your passions and maintaining your values.
It just feels like deception. Like, I thought I was doing the right thing. I wanted a family and a community, and I was a chronic people pleaser. I hate to admit that. It's, it just seems like the devil just knows how to create ways for me to waste time in fear or pleasing others or deception, misunderstanding things.